Welcome to the first installment of Freemode Heroes, everyone. Now, here's the thing, let me just tell you a very important quote by the great philosopher who literally wrote the book on the art of war, Sun Tzu. If you're gonna be fighting cringe tryhards and griefers in GTA Online, the first thing you need to know is who you're fighting, and what they're capable of. Look, I may have slightly paraphrased his point there, but you get the point. To fight your opponents in GTA, you need to learn about them, to understand them. For the first key to victory is knowledge over your opponent. Now, before we begin, I'm not the only person part of this project. There are a lot of talented people coming together to teach you, the viewer, some of the best proven and tested PvP methods to fight some of the worst griefers. As you can see on screen now, these are the people who are going to be teaching you their specialised areas of the game. And of course, last but not least, me as well, of course. Istura, GTA Sans, and self-appointed community historian. Hello. As I was saying, GTA is a very dangerous place. And you need to know how to survive on the streets of Los Santos.
Hey, is that a voice I hear?
And in order to do that...
Hey, who's in there? Open this door, damn it! Yeah!
What the? I give you the chance to collab on my channel and you end up taking over the entire studio? Get out of my seat, those are my lines you'll read.
Hey, don't sellotape the door on me, you little shit.
You need to know what you're up against. Let's go. First of all, the most common person you run into is a player I'd like to call the Wannabe Tryhard. Now, these players are everywhere, like dirty rats scurrying about and making the place all filthy. You see, these players are relatively new to the game, and see some of the older, more experienced and respected PvP players, and they're like, yes, I'd like some of that too. Clout and respect in GTA Online is very much sought after for many PvP players, and unlike those that have earned it through skill and experience, these Wannabe Tryhards will use every shortcut in the book to make it look as if they're an OG PvP player. They want to be recognised as a great PvP player, they don't want to be a great PvP player, and that's the difference. Due to a lack of skill, they try to make up for it with cheap tactics to get the kills on the better players, which, ironically enough, makes them think they're actually worse. Very ironic and tragic. This is so sad. But despite their high KD and epic sniping footage against level 23s, we all know they're not. They're desperate to be taken seriously, but their desperation can make them dangerous for the inexperienced. However, with just a slight bit of skill, these players are very, very easy. Have fun stomping them. And speaking of those OG PvP players, these are the second player you may come across. These are what the Wannabe Tryhards wish they could be. These players have a ton of experience after playing GTA Online for many years, and as a result, they are very skilled. These players eat Wannabe Tryhards for breakfast, and can beat 99% of players they come across if they want. However, they rarely ever do. You see, the majority of these players stick to themselves and fight amongst themselves. However, every now and again, they'll return to public sessions and can sweep the entire list of players without barely breaking a sweat. These are the players that have been there from the start, and can use almost anything to overcome some of the most challenging opponents. They're usually most effective in sniper fights or dogfighting, however they're absolutely deadly wherever you find them. Luckily for you though, these players often fight only dirty players, or wannabe tryhards or griefers, so if you come across one in a session, and you're being a very good and very nice player, you'll probably be fine. Hell, they may even help you fight some other players. And speaking of those players that will help you, these are the AntiTrihards. These players have sworn a sacred vow to clean the streets of Los Santos from dirty players. If they see a dirty player in the session, they'll stop at nothing to utterly eradicate them. These players will also help defend cargo from griefers and prevent it from being blown up. Now, these players can sometimes acquire a small dose of the blind every now and again, and sometimes mistake cleaner players for dirty ones. So just be careful if you're in a lobby around them. If you're performing a slight bit of trolling, you may just end up being killed.
Hey, don't be presenting the video without me.
Up here, bonehead. Haha, you did not sellotape the roof tiles. And now... you now have to present the rest of the video with me. Anyways, griefers. Oh boy, let me tell you about those guys. They come in all manner of subspecies like the cargo griefer and the orb spammer, but all have one unified goal: to extract the most cringe-worthy yet hilarious cry out of you yelling down your microphone. Which mostly fails, especially on PC, since most people don't use microphones, in which case they'll just end up typing stuff like And unfortunately, griefers tend to go for the more easy targets like the noobs or the people who are being forced to use crappy vehicles for deliveries like the Brigade. To this day, I still can't figure out what on earth this thing is supposed to be. What's it? Is it like a futuristic dump truck? Or a caravan or something? Anyways, these kinds of griefers will more often than not resort to exploiting the many issues that GTA Online has, like God mode glitches, out of bounds, etc., all in the name for that one cry over the microphone which when recorded will instantly guarantee a viral video on YouTube.
However, griefers aren't the worst players you'll encounter. The worst, the very, very worst, are the score warriors. These players take the worst aspects of griefing like the mods and the God mode, and add a whole new level of obsession to it. You see, these players are obsessed with score.
3-0, cry.
And they'll do absolutely anything to get a higher one than you. For the most part, once they have it, they're satisfied and will most likely stop caring about you. However, if you manage to get up on score against them, they'll chase you to the ends of the earth to beat you. This means joining your lobbies whenever you're having peaceful fun, not engaging in PvP at all, and use things like the orbital cannon against you to get their kill back, because of course they don't want you to have a higher score. Using mods, glitches or worse, they'll try to get it back one way or another. These players are pretty pathetic and the best to avoid altogether. Don't waste your time on sinking to the same level of degeneracy.
Speaking of degeneracy, anyone who's ever played GTA Online will know that there's two kinds of vehicles in the game. There's the good ones, and then there's the bad ones. Any normal person will happily make use of the likes of an Oppressor Mark II or a laser, build up their kill death, and then call it a day. But there exists a large amount of people who simply don't. These are the off-meta. These kinds of people exist for one sole reason: to use things like the Scramjet, the Oppressor Mark I, the Seabreeze, and other outdated but still cool as hell vehicle to get kills. For you see, if you can outmatch people in the likes of these, and all of the other players in the session will have no choice but to bow down and lick the ground you walk on. Either that or they'll try and kill you anyways because they dumb. And as cool as the off-meta players are, they do unfortunately have to suffer the reality that is their kill-death ratio may not be the best. They will have exploitable weaknesses if known, but that's okay, because if you decide to be one of these players, much like the entire crew of the Freemode Heroes, of which are going to have their own video featured here on the Pyro Gaming channel, you're gonna have a fun time.
Next we have the Gamemode players. Now, this can consist of a wide variety of players such as RNG, which is a game mode where players engage in team deathmatches with assault rifles or pistols only, and fight to see who has the highest score at the end. Or another one such as Base, where players fight near Fort Zancudo with any weapon they choose, once again seeing who will get the highest score at the end. Overall, these players are focused on one thing, the game mode they play, and rarely ever play outside of it. These players have mastered their chosen game mode, and if you step into a fight with an experienced RNG or Base player as an inexperienced person, you will absolutely be destroyed. These players have mastered their craft more so than anyone else, and you will have to do the same to come toe to toe with them. These game modes can be a fun way to play and engage in PvP in a cleaner setting, and you'll be able to enjoy the tight-knit niche you can become a part of. Very good indeed. With that, we're nearing the end. However, there is just one player that we have yet to talk about. A player that is arguably the most bloodthirsty and ruthless. That player is, of course, the Noob. Yes, the level 1 player who was just loaded into their first GTA lobby is arguably the most dangerous. Not because of their ability or lack thereof, mind you. You could probably defeat them very, very easily. However, the issue is that these noobs know nothing of proper etiquette. You see, if you're driving a cool car they want, bam, they'll kill you with their starting pistol as you drive up to them, honking your horn. Not knowing that this is poor etiquette yet, given they're new to the game, they will throw your kind gesture away and burn it to ashes, taking your car and leaving you utterly and truly devastated. The Noob truly is a despicable creature. With that being said, we're at the end of the video.
Yes folks, I'm afraid that's all we have time for. Join us again for another installation of the Freemode Heroes, where we'll be getting into the off-meta vehicles like the ones we talked about in this video. In the meantime, Istura here is going to be making repairs to my door under the watchful eye of Mr. Chrome here. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. As much as Istura was intruding into my office, he did edit pretty much all of his videos, so if you enjoyed this, then you'll probably enjoy his channel in general. so make sure to go visit him sometime. Anyways, I'll see you around.